Ohio State versus Indiana. From my understanding, Ohio State is minus 11.5. The over is 52.5. I'll start with Rafa on this. Rafa, what are your thoughts on this game?
So the line was 13, and I currently sits at 11.5. Ohio State at home, and Ohio State is underachieved on offense. It just doesn't, like, they have so much talent, and when are they going to put it together? Like, Purdue, like, come on. I mean, you got to put it together. We know how good they are. Indiana hasn't faced anybody yet. Okay, this is their first tough test, and I know you hate to hear it, but they haven't faced a real quarterback. They haven't faced real fucking receivers. They faced zero fucking talent up until this point. How will they go? How will they do against arguably the most talented team in the land? And their one loss was on the road at Oregon in a super tight game. Indiana has lost the last 3 years by over 30 points a game to Ohio State. I love Ohio State because I have zero respect for what Indiana's done. that's just me. I'm on the different end, but I want the team that's outscoring motherfuckers by over 30. So give me Ohio State minus 11.5, minus 12.5. I think Ohio State will bring everyone's hype of Indiana back to earth. I could be wrong because I'm wrong every week, but I think Ohio State just shuts the whole Indiana thing down, and we can talk about Indiana, and you can bring them all the way down in the rankings to 15 after their loss. I love Ohio State.
I got 2 words for you, Rafa. Kurt Signetti, baby. Come on, man. I've already said this. This dude will be the head coach of Michigan football within the next 2 years. You can't bring up what they've done in the past. This is a new regime. They are new believers. By the way, he is a branch on the Nick Saban tree. This guy knows how to coach. This guy has built programs. He's already done the impossible. And that's just too many points. And let's go back to why you don't like Ohio State's offense. I didn't understand. You have an amazing tight end. You have a great receiver, 2 great running backs. Now, you have issues at tackle, offensive tackle at Ohio State. You have a very good quarterback, but I don't like Chip Kelly. And players don't like Chip Kelly. And I'm not saying that these guys, live and die on whether you like a coach or not, but he just brings bad vibes.
Let me rebuttal. Okay, so you said in your little monologue there,
Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs. That's the word.
Your total suck off of Indiana. You said history doesn't matter. This is a new team. In college football, history always matters.
Oh,
CJ, please. Florida and Tennessee. Florida is an atrocious team for the last how many years? Okay, Florida owns Tennessee. They went into Tennessee this year and beat them. Last year they covered. Okay, these games, Auburn can be shit, and when they play Bama, the games are tight. If you've lost 30 in a row to Ohio State, 30 in a row as a program, I don't give a fuck who the coach is. At the end of the day, history with trends in college football, games are tight or games are blowouts. It just usually just cycles around. How does Florida beat Tennessee? How do they do it? Nobody knows. It's in their head. It's a rivalry. But Florida,
that's a huge rivalry.
It doesn't matter. Ohio State.
Yes, it does.
Penn State. It's history.
Okay.
Auburn,
okay.
Miami, dude. Penn State.
You
Ohio
can say.
I'm going to step in here.
No, hold on.
Ohio State.
You can say this about Michigan. When's the last time Indiana beat Michigan? It's probably more than 30 years, and they beat Michigan.
Michigan's
When's the last time Indiana?
5-5 though. Michigan's 5-5.
When's the last time Indiana beat Nebraska?
Nebraska's also 5-5.
I think they haven't had a winning season since 1963.
Nebraska's also 5-5. If a team's beat you 30 times,
Ohio State hasn't played anyone either, except for Ohio State.
And they beat Penn State. They've lost one game on the road, and they beat Penn State. And they should have beat Oregon. They got outcoached and outclassed but they could have won that game. And I think when they play in the Big Ten title game, I think Ohio State will beat Oregon. I really believe it. But Indiana has lost 30 times in a row, and the last 3 years by over 30. 5 years ago, they won by 7. Ohio State beat them by 7. Okay, you've lost the last 3 by over 30. Listen, the pattern there. I don't care how good Indiana, you think how good Indiana is. They haven't beat anyone still at the end of the day.